A judge has released the Fulton County special grand jury's full report on interference into the 2020 election in Georgia.
And it recommended bringing charges indicting more people than were ultimately charged in the case. The grand jury indicated it believed charges should have been filed against South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and two former Georgia GOP senators. Former President Donald Trump and 18 others were indicted in the case.
Criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully joins us now. Joseph, thanks for being with us. How key was the work of this special grand jury in the Fulton County DA's investigation?
Well, the grand jury is always the basis of the charges that the prosecutor files in a case. So I would say it's foundational. On the one hand, though, we do have to keep in mind there's an old legal saying that if a halfway decent prosecutor wants, they can indict a ham sandwich using a grand jury. So the grand jury was the basis of the charges that were eventually filed.
Well, Joseph, jumping off of that point, could any of the people named in this report eventually face charges in this case, including Senator Graham?
Certainly, yes. So the charging decision is always at the discretion of the prosecution. So the grand jury here actually recommended charges against 39 different people, including the three GOP senators, one Lindsey Graham being one, and then two former senators. So that can happen at any time. Why that didn't happen? The decision rests solely with the prosecution. You'd have to get inside her head in order to figure out why or why not, and it could be strategic. It could still be lingering. It's definitely a possibility.
Well, give us a sense of that. Obviously, as you say, we can't sort of get in her head, but from a legal perspective, how challenging might moving forward on some of these other recommendations, how challenging might that have been?
So I think if I were to kind of guess what happened here, I would say that the prosecution made the decision to go with the 19 people and excluding the other 20 people here that were recommended by the grand jury based on what would be the best, the most successful outcome. So I think it would look bad to, file these 19 indictments and then go back and then kind of piecemeal charge more people. So I think that most likely if they were going to be charged, they would have been charged up front. I would say that's the most likely scenario here. However, it does remain a possibility that Lindsey Graham could be charged.
And Joseph, I want to ask, some of these people that the grand jury indicated they believe that charges should have been filed, are these potential witnesses in the trial of the other people being indicted?
Yes, they're definitely potential witnesses. They're definitely potential cooperators. A lot of times the lingo that they use against these people who, could be charged but aren't charged is unindicted co-conspirators. And what that does is it really hampers the defense attorneys because you can't talk to these people. They can't be your witnesses, or it's very difficult because they will have their own attorneys, and their own attorneys are going to say, listen, you're not charged now. Don't say or do anything that will get you charged. So don't cooperate with the defense, because if you do, the prosecution can turn around and charge you. So it's really a tactic that a lot of prosecutors use, but that a lot of people are starting to get vocal about, that it's an unfair use of prosecutorial power.
All right, Joseph Tully. Joseph, thanks so much for sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you so much for having me.